Good morning. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I have to do that before every performance. This is a talk, not a performance, but it's a performance to me. So if all of you can join me doing it, it'll help me out, all right? Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I know everybody's stomach is grumbling a little bit, but shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. This is what I do before I go onto stage. My life feels crazy, 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 crazy. And then right before I go out, I stand there, I take a breath, I listen to the silence. You could probably hear my heartbeat too. And then I go. I'm a storyteller. It's what I love to do. I love stories. When I was a little girl, I listened to my grandmother tell me about how she came here on the boat from Grenada with her mother. Her mother had $50 in her pocket, I think. Back in 1922. And they came here and they met my grandfather, who was here already, came a year before, to work and get them to come. They lived on 135th Street in the projects, and they had a hard life, but you know, they made do. They enjoyed each other. They told stories. My grandmother also told me about her mother, Catherine, who also, being a nurse, also was the resident wedding cake maker in the neighborhood, and very particularly black cake. So I don't know if you've ever heard of what black cake is. Black cake is this cake that you can pretty much get drunk by smelling it. Okay? As soon as someone gets engaged, they add, you get started on the cake. You start with this like bucket of stuff, and you add liquors, and you add sweets and treats and spices and a little bit of funk and a little bit of you and a little bit of love, okay? And every day, somebody in the family had to go and mix this black cake. Mix it, and it seemed tedious, but it took everybody in the family to come in and mix it, and my grandmother, Catherine, would come in, and she would put it all together, make this cake, and then you have, at the end, this absolutely wonderful, dense, delicious, sweet-smelling, bitter-tasting. I don't know. I've had black cake once, and it knocked me on my butt like a horse. It just knocked me out. Okay. I say that because what I want to let you know to do is that in life, on stage, you have all different kinds of ingredients in your life that is given. Now, because I'm a storyteller, I will tell you what I do on the stage. I tell a lot of different things. I'll tell you one particular thing that will feed your life, like this black cake. Starting with your family and your friends and your peers. One of the most important things that I learned is never underestimate the people around you. A lot of my stories will take place on stage because I did it a lot. I worked at Delaware Theater Company. I did a show called Winter Wonderettes. You know, it's really serious stuff. It's called Winter Wonderettes, and I played a girl named Susie who was 7 months pregnant, and I come out and I'm talking like this, and I have to come out and I surprise everybody in this big, beautiful costume that I'm a snowflake. And I come out and I'm tapping. I've never tapped before. I told them when they cast me, I don't tap. I move well. They said, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. I had this big tap number. I had to like shuffle and all this other stuff and do it. And okay, I mastered it. It's the second performance. We have a full audience. And I go out there and, hi, I'm Susie. I got my snowflake. And I'm tapping and I'm tapping. And what I didn't know is that they didn't sweep up the snow from the first act. And I'm tapping and I'm tapping. And I go like this. Look at me, strip, boom, pop. Everybody in the audience goes, and at that moment, every inch of my being went this small. I disappeared. I didn't know what to do. I was on stage. What am I going to do now? And I took a breath, and I looked at the three ladies that I surprised, because they're playing a snowman, and their face was just like the audience. But in that instant, we all connected. We all knew that something had to happen. And at that time, they came around me. I'm on the floor. I'm pregnant. So I'm like, oh, ha, 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 ha. You know, I'm not really pregnant, but ha, 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 ha. And they come over and they take me by the arms and they're like, ha, ha, ha. We fit it into the performance. And we're laughing like it's supposed to happen. Let me tell you, I'll never live that moment down. I looked up in the audience. I saw my choreographer with tears coming down his face because he's laughing so hard. Everybody that came around me, that's all, it constantly keeps coming up. The reason why I tell that story is because it's an example of your friends, obviously we all had to do it, coming and picking you up and taking care of you, okay? The second thing I want to tell you is besides your friends coming together is your education. I know we're in school right now, okay? And in school, you keep on hearing things getting thrown at you. Education is very important. You got to go to school. You got to go to college. I support these things. I think they're very important if they're important for you. But I went to school at Carnegie Mellon, like they said earlier. And in that, I went for drama. And, you know, we learned acting, we learned movement, we learned breathing, all this other stuff. The one class that still to this day fills my soul is called rhythm. Now, how do you say rhythm can be taught? This was the hardest class, yet the most interesting and the most powerful. I had this professor named Victoria Santa Cruz. I still, to this day, shake a little bit because she scares me. So she would be like, okay, kid, this woman, you would see her walking down the street. This is how she walks, always with rhythm. Okay, kid. One day we saw her trip, and she was like, okay, kid, I think it moved. And she kept on going. This is Victoria. In this class, we did things like tapitata, tapitata, tapitapitapitapitata. And I used to enjoy when I danced. So we used to jump rope, and everybody struggled. What is the point of this? Why are we doing this? And the thing that she used to always say is that there's no easy, there's no hard, there just is. What does that mean? What the heck does that mean? There's no easy, there's no hard, there just is. The next part of that class is exploration. We would do little things like, oh, you have to pick up a pen, and then you see the love of your life, and you just go. And you'd be like, okay, I picked up a pen. Oh, I love you. Oh, stop it, you don't know what you're doing. And she would lose her mind. Forget it, class is over, and she would walk out. Frustrated to the eons with this woman. Everybody, even when we get together now, my friends from 20 years ago, we'd be like, oh, remember Victoria? I did a performance in a show called Valley Song that filled my soul. It was something I really wanted to do. And I'm doing this show, and right in the beginning, when I'm singing to the audience, I turn here and I see Victoria, and instantly, like, I took my breath, and I finally said, there's nothing I can do to facilitate, to do, I just have to be. I practiced, I sang, I had vocal coaches, everything up to this point in this moment. I saw this woman, I felt like everything melted away. I felt 2 years old again. But I saw her and I let it go. And I did this show. And it was the most, I don't know how to explain it. They call something catharsis. That I finally let go. It wasn't easy. It wasn't hard. I finally practiced. I had everything behind me. All of this education within my body, within rehearsal, within the teachers, everybody that I had was in my being, that I just let it go, and it just comes. It just bubbles up. And my point in that is that all this education that you're getting, probably art and math, and why do we have to know this times table and this x minus xeon minus z equals 3, who cares? The thing is that in that moment, in that performance, it finally got revealed to me. It's something that bubbles up. It might seem like, why are we doing this? When it comes to making that app or creating that game, something in that being is going to bubble up. It's going to bubble up, and it's going to free you and give you this catharsis and this feeling of, this is why I do this. This is why I'm passionate about this. This is why I can keep going. The third part is spirit. This is a tough thing that I'm always questioning spirit. What does that mean? How does that fill me? My friends, I get that. My peers, I get that. I go all over the country, the world. I meet new people, new families, new everything, but then spirit. And I was trying to figure that out. I was trying to write it down. I was trying to figure out how I'm going to tell young people. I'm still young. I don't know what they're going on. I'm still young. But all of y'all, what that means. And I just sat down and I meditated on it. I did all the crazy. I stayed still. I listened to my heartbeat. A year ago, just over a year ago, I got a rude awakening. I gave birth to baby girls. They're amazing. This is why they're amazing. Yes, birth children are beautiful, they're cute. Ooh, look, they wear cute little outfits, they match, ha, that's fantastic. But it's something very interesting to watch the discovery of life. And when I say life, we wake up in the morning now, we have a routine. We have a routine of, we get up, we open the window, and we say, it's a beautiful day outside. And every day they wake up and they applaud for the day. That's a new thing. It's really pretty awesome. They applaud for the day because it's allowing them to start something new. They don't know it yet, but for me, it starts something new. My journey is new. Every day they go outside, and we have this whole padded living room. And let me tell you, my living room has turned into romper room. Everything is blue, yellow, green, and red. You could either say it in Spanish or you can say it in English. Some stuff you can say it in French. We got good night moon, good night New York, good night this, Grover and Elmo. And we have all of these things all over the room. I mean, a ridiculous amount of toys. Very blessed. But they come in and they find that one blue button on that piano in this whole room of things. And they pick it up and they look at it and they smile. And sometimes they hug it. Sometimes they hug it. Sometimes they kiss it. Sometimes they throw it at each other. But every single moment is new. It's a new discovery. It is a fascinating experience. It's a fascinating experience that fills my spirit to see somebody open it up and discover it. So for you, in terms of your mind, keep that education. It's going to come up. It's going to be rediscovered. For your heart, and tell your story every day, even now, even this little part of your life, these few hours that we're together, is going to be part of your story. I'm happy. I'm just a little bit part of your story. Look at that. I'm famous, girl. But always, always, always remember to keep that going, to keep your life going, your path going, You got to remember that spirit and to open it up and to discover it and to remember who you are and that what you're doing and wherever your path and your journey goes or ends, that discovery just needs to keep on going. Every day, wake up, open the window, 1, 2, 3. It's a beautiful day outside. Can you all say that with me today? 1, 2, 3. It's a beautiful day outside. Thank you.